Oh, hi. Come on in. I didn't see you there. And welcome back to our newest episode of Painting an ACGuy. On our last episode, we filled in some gaps, primed them up, and prepared them for today's session, which is just finalizing the whole build and painting it. The goal this time is to try and get the paint job to be as accurate to the model kit as we can, and to also try some new techniques, like pre-shading. Alright, let's get into it. Our first step today will be to pre-shade the parts. So to do that, what we'll need to do is take some black paint and thin it out so that it can be shot through an airbrush, and then get in kind of close to the pieces and try and basically shade in all of the recessed parts, like we're doing right now. Through this, I learned that pre-shading really helps you steady your hand when using your airbrush, and it really improves your accuracy overall as well. This is because we got to get in kind of close to the model and we cannot miss where we want our paint to go. Now that the pre-shading was done, it was time to mix up the tan color to be sprayed over it. Luckily, tan is quite a translucent color, so the pre-shading showed through quite well. This is kind of a sneak peek as to what our pre-shading will look like when the model is done. Next up, it was time to paint the main body color, which is brown. In the previous video, I mentioned that because the overall color of this brown was really dark, I was just going to mix this earth brown with black to achieve the same look. However, at the last second, I decided to throw in some of this dark, gory red. And this, I think, saved the color and made it match almost exactly to what we wanted. Overall, I was extremely happy with how this turned out, and we'll see. At the end of the whole paint job, we'll see. It really, really worked out. I was blown away with how much it worked just adding a bit of red. Also, because I want everyone to develop a chocolate addiction like my own, I like to always make sure I get really, really good footage of the brown paint. I challenge anyone to tell me that it doesn't look like chocolate milk. Before painting the grays, we do need to mask some of the part. This is because I have terrible aim and they're really way too close together to risk it for the biscuit. And because I literally cannot stand having to cut circles, I just use masking fluid on the neck portions of the ACGuy. This is when something extremely weird happened. I mixed Vallejo Game Air with Vallejo Mecha Air, and you can kind of see it here. The paints aren't really mixing, even when I use my paintbrush to make sure that they mix in. It's taking way longer than it should, and you can kind of see it here in the pot itself. It's not really mixed. And I didn't notice it until I started actually painting the part. The paint was absolutely refusing to leave the airbrush, and it would immediately dry on the tip. That's when I took a look into the actual pot of the airbrush, and I noticed that this weird kind of, it looked like separation had happened. And you can see it here. The paint is not really fully mixed. It was the weirdest thing. My guess is that because the Vallejo Mecha Air line is designed to be really, really, really durable and resistant, so that you can paint it onto something like a Gundam or a gunpla kit and move it around without the paint chipping too much. I think because of that, the paint does not really work well with any other paints in their lineup. I could be wrong. I would have to test it out with the paints separately on maybe some plastic spoons. But just to be safe, after I was done painting, I stuck all of the pieces into my ultrasonic cleaner and literally left them in there for 3 days, just to make sure that there were no clogs or anything wrong with the airbrush. Now the parts were fully painted, it was time to go in there with some gloss varnish so that we could paint some details and add some additional decals and do whatever we wanted. I always thought that adding a top coat made the paint colors lighter, but in this instance it seemed to darken everything. But that really worked out in the end, because then the pre-shading came through more, and also the brown looked even better in my opinion. The ACGuy is a frisky little boy, and as such has a bunch of torpedoes in his arms. And to kind of make them pop out more and to just add some more colors to the model kit, I painted them in white and in red. This is also because I don't know why when I think of torpedoes and the tips of torpedoes, I think of both white and red. And then for his claws, I drew inspiration from the knives in Counter-Strike, and I painted the outside part of the claws a really dark gray, and then the inside part got my shiniest silver. Who knows, maybe because he has 6 of these little things, he runs way faster than everyone else when he has them out. When I was looking up reference material for the ACGuy, I learned that there's a huge debate among Gundam fans on whether or not the ACGuy has giant guns in his arms or if they're giant particle beam cannons in his arms. My personal headcanon is that they're actually bubble launchers, so that the ACGuy can go to birthday parties and, you know, make all the kids feel happy with just a bubble launcher, just making fun little bubbles. Well, I guess they would be massive bubbles in this case because, you know, it's a giant mobile suit, literally a mecha, but who knows? Who cares? I also painted the bottom of his feet. First time I've ever done this on a gunpla kit that I have fully painted. This is because, I mean, usually, you know, how often do we look at the bottom of the feet? I mean, I'm not to knock anyone, but, you know, I'm not really a foot fetishist, so I don't ever look at the feet of my kids. The ends of his gun barrels also got the silver treatment, and then I painted up the snorkel with just a black gray. I think that's a snorkel. I could be wrong. It's a snout at least. And the last thing to get the detail painting was the beautiful, beautiful mono eye. I suppose because the ACGuy is an amphibious suit, it's supposed to be airtight, and so it doesn't really have that many panel lines. I could be wrong. It might just be because the model kit itself is really old that they didn't add that many panel lines. But I think a pretty easy way to refute that is how much details are on the bottom of the feet. So I'm just going to stick with the airtight seal of a theory. I love these big lines here, though, because I can just fill them in with a literal pen. Well, a Gundam pen, but still a pen. After filling in all the lines, we can just go in and clean them out with a Q-tip that's been doused in enamel thinner. This stuff smells legitimately like lighter fluid, and I guess that tracks. To really seal the deal here and let everyone know that the ACGuy is one of the best mobile suits ever, it got treated with these beautiful Delphi decal golden decals. I didn't want to go overboard with the decals, so he just got 3. He just got, you know, we'll just let everyone know that he's Xeon and that he's a, oh my god, 2 chevrons. Hold on, I have to look that up. 2 chevrons, corporal. Google taught me that that is corporal. So he's our little golden corporal boy. Nice. There we go. What a pretty boy. He's finally all done and can be added to the full collection. Also, yes, I do have every single Xeon mobile amphibious suit, at least from the main series. I bet all the other dudes are going to get jealous of him now because he's fully painted and he looks pretty perfect and anime accurate, and they're just bare plastic. So I guess I should actually kind of be ashamed of myself because I should paint the rest of them. Oh my god, I should paint all of them. I should paint all of my gunpla kits all the time now because look at how awesome he turned out. And we can't claim that the GOG isn't deserving of a nice paint job, or the ZGOC. I don't know if I'd want to repaint the ZGOC though. It's an RG and it has 45 million pieces. And there we have it though. Look at him, he's done. We did it. We successfully repainted the HGUC MSM-04 ACGuy. And if I do say so myself, he looks pretty great, and it wasn't hard to do at all. I hope that everyone learned as much as I did in this build, which essentially just means, you know, don't mix Mecha Airline with any other of the Vallejo lines. And also that pre-shading is really cool, and filling in gaps is kind of important because it makes the model kit look whole and complete. All in all, though, I do really think he looks exactly like the manual cover. And there you go, there's the bottom of his feet for our foot appreciationists. This mobile suit really does hit it all, doesn't it? And now that the ACGuy is done, and because I have 3 of them, because I have terrible compulsion control, they can finally go to the discotheque and have a real disco party. As always, I would just like to say thank you very much, especially if you made it to this far in the video. I really appreciate the views, and I hope that you enjoy the content. I'm not going to stop making these anytime soon because it's just really fun to do. So I do hope that you all stick around with me for the ride. I already have purchased the next Gundam kit that I want to build. I keep saying Gundam, but gunpla kit I want to build, and it's this dude right here. The MS-14A Gelgoog, or the Gelgoog Cannon. You can make either or in this kit. I'm really excited to build this one because this will round out my entire collection. That is the last Xeon mobile kit that I have to make. Anyways, I love you all and have a great week.